Hey you all, Tammi C. Walker, the owner of Dreams Are a Reality. I created this channel to provide light and love. How you all doing? I'm doing good. I wanted to do a video today about dating. Dating can take a while for some people. Before I get started with all of that, please hit like, subscribe, feel free to share, drop me some comments. I always love my comments. Okay, I have a little list that I created because I want to touch on a few things. As some of you all know, maybe you don't, some of you do, I was in two very long-term relationships. I have been married before. I'm long time divorced, and yeah, just in between right now relationships. I'm not, I want to say stuff nicely, but I want to be honest. I never was a big dater. Like, it's not something I particularly enjoy. You just got to throw it out there. I'm more of a person that go out with someone when someone kind of introduces me to somebody, or I like personally to let it marinate and develop into something, like start off as friends and let it go, take its course. But I would tell you all on some of my videos, I'm a bit of a weirdo. And don't feel bad. Don't say, oh, you don't call yourself that. Yeah, I am. I am. I know I'm a little different. Not nothing like weird, but I have my ways. So not difficult. It's not difficult. It's just I go with my gut and I trust my intuition. And if it don't feel right, I'm not doing it. That's what a job, that's what a house, that's what an apartment, renting an apartment, that's what buying a car. That's what becoming friends with people. If it don't feel right, I'm not doing it. And my gut has never, when I say never, it has never led me wrong. Only time I got tripped up is when I didn't listen to it. So there we go. 1999, that's when I was with someone for years, dating. Then we got married. We were married 6 years. So in 1999, I was divorced. So I began getting back out there dating. At that time, I was 29. I was born in 70, so I'm always going to be whatever year. That's how I can remember my age. Anyway, it was a little bit fun back then. No, they did have dating apps. So I think Match.com was out, and I kind of Black Voices, like Chicago Black Voices. I can't Atlanta. It was cool. So we were online a lot, chatting in chat rooms, but we would also get together in person. And this is how I met one guy that I dated for a while. Disaster, this toxic disaster. But it's okay because I take responsibility too. I was in a very bad place. So just to let you all know, 1999, I came out of a marriage. It was abusive. I'm not going to talk much about it because it's negative, and I just don't want to keep going down that road. And then my dad died in 99. I'm sorry, I was doing my little video and then my nose started running. It's a little bit of some allergy stuff going on. As I was saying, my dad, he passed suddenly in 1999. So I'm faced with a pending divorce and the sudden death of my dad from a heart attack. So I was in a very low place, depressed. You can imagine those of you that are close to your parents. I was very close to my dad, very close to my mom. So it hurt so bad. Had no business dating, but of course I'm gonna get out there and date, and just a disaster. But before all of that, I would date. I don't know how I meet these guys. I think Match.com or something. I kind of, it's kind of fuzzy. But one day I had a breakfast, lunch, dinner date. It was fun because it was like lighthearted. It was nothing major. It just was fun. I may go to a picnic and meet somebody and just, you just hang out and get to know each other. Well, this went on for years. 1999 through like 2000, I was dating that one guy, and it wasn't a good, it was a horrid experience. Very bad, very toxic. I was in a bad place. He was in a worse place, and it was it was one of the worst. It was the worst relationship I ever had, him and marriage. Just ladies and gentlemen, don't put up with toxic behavior. I don't do that narcissist because they throw that word out so much. I'm not even talking about that kind of stuff. Yeah, well, some people are though. But if you know it's toxic, they are possibly cheating. If you know that if you are being abused physically, mentally, called out of your name, men too. If ladies are calling you out your name, disrespectful, both genders, if you're being cheated on, don't stick around for that type of stuff. And I want to put this out there too. If you have come out of a bad relationship, being mistreated, don't get back into another one and you see red flags and you ignore it. So let me dig deeper. I came out of a relationship that was healthy, that was good overall. It wasn't perfect because we still be together. But I'm not ready to jump in and then I'm dating somebody and I'm picking up on something. He's playing games. I'm out. Like right away, I'm out. And that's the best thing to do. One error that we do, we stick around too long. Why are you sticking around too long for someone that you just met? Now I could see if you've been together years, even like 10 months, or you're more invested, but you just met the person 2 months ago or a month ago. You see the red flags. He or she, they are not being consistent or they're talking, we play ourselves small. You know, you know. This is where they're doing the work on yourself. Here we go again. What do you want? What do you feel you deserve? If they are talking that yin yang stuff, like, well, I don't know, I'm not sure. You know what they'll be saying. Let's just say you're looking for a commitment, eventually leading to marriage, and they are hemming and hawing, or you just know when they're not what you are looking for. Cut it off right away. Don't sit there and ponder and stick with the person knowing good and well it's not healthy for you. And I don't know why we do this. I did it too when I was younger, but as a more mature woman, I'm not doing that no more. But I had no trouble cutting stuff off back then. I would definitely cut it off. So even as a 30-something year, I cut stuff off. Please do that. You all save yourself the drama. You don't need it. Anyway, anyhow, dating back then, it was a bit easier. It was. But I still got tripped up. And I was not healthy though. And this is why I say, do the therapy and stuff, because it could save you a lot of heartache and a lot of drama. I have to also say, times when I was dating, I wasn't in love with those guys. It was just lust or my trauma. It was my trauma. And I just wanted to cling to something. Yeah, let me just move on. Let me move on because I keep rambling. So around COVID is when I had my last breakup. And I got back out there, got on Hinge. I hate dating apps for the record. But I got on there and a couple of guys, I was chit-chatting with them on the phone. And I just didn't enjoy it. The one guy was like, you got to come out by my way. And, man, why am I coming out by you when you the gentleman? So you should be coming this way. It just seems like I'm old school, so I can't deal with these guys that don't want to, be a gentleman. I'm just not putting up with it. So I was like, I don't know about this guy. And then one day he just texted me WYD. I'm like, what you doing? I said, working. So for me, again, more mature woman, I'm stimulated by a very mature guy, a gentleman with very good manners. He could look okay. I don't care for the shorter guys. Sorry. Tried that before. I'm from 5'7", so I do prefer a gentleman, but I'm not a stickler like he's got to be 6 feet. He better be five this. He better be. I'm not like that. I am open, but I do prefer taller than me. That's what I'm trying to say. But I'm really more drawn to the intellect. I'm drawn to someone I could talk to. This is highly important, ladies and gentlemen, because I watched my parents go through this. My mom was more artsy and outgoing. My dad was more introverted and subdued, and I noticed as they got older, The lighting is weird on this video. As they got older, ooh, you know what's happening to sun. Hang on, you all. Hang on. Sorry, you all. The sun was coming through and it was getting weird. It's still kind of weird. Anyway, as my parents got older, I noticed that they didn't really seem like they had much in common. And so that's why you do need to be friends with who you are with. That's so important because the healthy relationship that I experienced, we could crack out. We had our own little private jokes. We had our favorite shows. We believed in the same values of raising family a certain way. We both believe in God. We love sports. We love to travel. It wasn't like you're not gonna be everything's not gonna mesh with you and your person. Everything, because that would be oh so boring. They are individuals, so are you. But you have to have things in common, and truly, you must be able to conversate. A relative, his like cousin, wanted to talk to me, and I was like, no. And for one, I look at him like family. I've been knowing this guy a lot of years, but he doesn't. We don't have the same conversation. Like we wouldn't have much to talk about, so that just doesn't work out. And I think people they get upset when you have standards or you are selective. But I'm thinking long term. Why be with somebody you can't even converse with? It's just a no. It's not going to work. Don't you ever feel guilty about having standards, about having values, about taking your time and being selective with who you bring in your home, who you bring in your life, and who you bring in your bed. And I'll be that. Oh, you picky. Oh, you're gonna end up by yourself. you know, only the good Lord knows because yeah, it's a no for me. I'm just not going to rush and do something. I'm not. Read the room, everybody. So here's a dilemma I have at times. I'm very friendly. When I say friendly, I talk to all people. I don't really care. You could be an elderly person. You could be young. So I'll give you an example. My building yesterday had a taco like fiesta thing with tacos and rice and refried beans and margaritas and other stuff. And the margaritas were slamming and the tacos were good. So I wasn't going to go, but I just went on. It's like around the corner from my apartment. And I ended up talking with a guy. He looked like a hippie. He was like 29, he had this long curls. But I like talking to people. That's my thing. I like hearing who you are and what you're about. So we're talking, and he was like, oh, I'll be 30. And he was saying how his mom pushed him out because he was living downstate Illinois. And he came up this way, and he lived with his mom for a while. He said he was bouncing back and forth between parents. I'm assuming they're not together. His parents are divorced or whatever. And he said his mom was like, get out. You need to get your own place. But he said she wasn't being mean. She was trying to teach him independence. And I guess she told him, you make enough money to get on out. You don't have to be living with me. And so that's why he lives here for a year. And he said it's going very well. He loves having his own space. And he was saying his other friends are 30 and they all live at home. That's real talk because stuff is so high rent. Rent shot up, I would say, after COVID, so 2020, around 2021 through 2023, it shot up, and it didn't shoot up like $50, like $200. Because I look where I live now, and the rent prices to start are $200 higher than where I started when I moved here in 2021. So that shows you it's been a surge. So a lot of 30-year-olds and older are moving back in with mom and dad because they can't afford it. So read the room, though, men. Read the room, women. Just because someone is friendly is not, they're not saying they want to date you. But it's kind of okay, but it just can get weird. So after that guy, it's after I was talking to him for a minute and we were eating our food, it started to rain and he ended up getting up and I saw him outside. So I saw two other guys and I started, talking with them and asking which way did they live in the complex. And so one is married and he lived opposite of me. The other one will be moving in 2 weeks. They relatives. So I was like, oh, okay. And so the one guy was like, oh, we need to hook up. And I'm like, hook up. Okay, hook up. I don't know what he really meant. He didn't do anything per se wrong, but it just was like, yeah, no. Yeah, no. Are you married? No, but I lied. And I'm not a liar, but I'm not interested. He was decent looking. He definitely was decent looking. But I'm a very cautious woman. I don't want to be hanging out with some guy that live in my complex. Give me feedback on that. Does that feel unsafe to you all? So let me give you a little bit backdrop on my cautiousness and how I move in my space. Nobody gets in here. This is the Pentagon. Nobody gets in here. I'm being silly. Only people come here. My brother-in-law, my other brother-in-law, he's welcome, of course. My uncle, my cousin from out of state, any family members, that's okay. My grown nephew, my baby nephew, my great nephews, the maintenance guy. Those are the men that get in, and of course my ex. He's helped put stuff together and stuff like that. But yeah, he's welcome. Or I don't let guys in my house until we have been dating like a while, because you ain't getting up in here on me. And that's a rule I've had since 1999, and it's done me very well, because fatal attraction. You been watching the news? People going on these dates, getting dismembered, and if it don't work out, the guy come back and kill. Mm-mm. Act like you don't know if you want to, because me personally, I came from a domestic violence relationship, and baby, that is the most scariest thing in the world. Be safe out here, women. We are very vulnerable. We are a vulnerable population, and everybody is not sane. Men, you too. You got to be careful out here. And people, they don't want to have these conversations, but you don't need that drama. You really don't. And your life is bigger than some date. It really is. So that's my auntie mama spiel for today. Read the room though, like at work. I'm very friendly with Miss Brown, making up names. I'm the same way with Mr. Washington. Because I say good morning doesn't mean I want to date you. This is my place of work. And some of those guys, they mistake niceness for, oh, she like me. No, I don't like you. Like, I don't even know you. And I'm just being polite. You read the room, men. If a lady likes you, this is how you'll know, in case you all don't know, especially in a work situation, or if you're somebody you see often, they're going to start asking more questions. They're not going to say, hey, Brian, that's nice. I say, hey to all my coworkers. So that don't mean I like you. It's going to be more talk. What you doing this weekend? Oh, we should get together for a drink sometimes. But I did that with my other coworker, but I don't like him because he's like 30. But he was real cool. We had been working together like a year, so that was different. But you'll know when a lady like you. It's subtle things she's gonna do. Just because somebody speak to you doesn't mean they like you. And maybe you like them, and that's okay. But expect to get rejected possibly because that's not what they want. And so that's a dilemma. It's not a dilemma because but it's a problem that I have, and I end up rejecting people. And I think I'm all that. It's nothing like that. But I just like what I like and who I like. But sometimes that's the furthest thing from my mind. I'm just being cordial and nice. And I know other women get caught up in this, and men. They'll be like, I was nice to a lady and she thought I liked her. And they'll be like, I don't like her like that, but I'm just nice to her. I like her for a friend. So it's like a lot of mixed messages going on. And look, I don't get rejected much. I have to be honest, but I got rejected before. This one guy, well, I got rejected, but let me shut up. I had this friend, and he had a friend, and he introduced us, and I could tell the guy wasn't interested in me, but he was fine. The man was like fine, 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 but I wasn't even interested in him because he was like that super pretty boy, and I was like, I'm not his type, and he wasn't mine. Like I don't want a guy that looked that good. That ain't nothing but a bunch of problems. But yeah, so I get rejected, but not much. But ladies, it's different for some ladies. Whew. Now, this is a difficult video to get through. I don't have to pause it twice. One over the sun. It's like, and my nose running. Whew, allergy stuff. Anyway, let me move on my list. Again, I kind of talked about that already. Being safe. You got to be safe out here in these streets with these people, and don't feel bad about your safety. Don't be desperate where you put yourself in harm's way, and don't be desperate where you try to rush the process of dating. Forgive me, you all, for this lighting because it's like a lot of stuff is going on up in here. Well, you all, I'm gonna try to finish this video. It's like the sun doing stuff. I have to keep adjusting. Are you really ready to date? And that's something with me. I'm not all the way ready. I'm not all the way open at times. It's weird, you all. It's so weird. And not really. The longer you kind of be by yourself, you get set in your ways. Like I told you, I got divorced in 1999. I'm so used to having my own space. Although I was in a very long-term relationship, we have had our own apartment. And I'm protective of my peace. And for you all know that follow me, I beat cancer twice. And so I'm very protective. And I'm very I always was been like that, but I mean it's even higher. So it's gotta be like, it's gotta be a good connection. But you never know unless you try, right? Make sure you're ready. And if you're not ready, you got that past trauma, you have those doubts, you had a bad experience, you already know I'm going to send you www psychology today. Don't feel bad over it. Don't go telling everybody I'm doing some therapy. Just do it and tell your therapist I'm here because I really want to get back out and date, but I had some past trauma. Someone was abusive, God forbid, but I know it happens. From my parents, I didn't have the best relationship with mom. I didn't have the best relationship with dad. I was adopted. I was raised by grandma. Whatever your story is, I was abused by my parents, God forbid, molested. It's a lot of stuff that goes on with people and relationship barriers. So go to Psychology Today, www Psychology Today, type in your zip code and find you someone that can help you. Now, be selective. If you are a Christian, look for a Christian counselor. If you are African American and you don't feel comfortable talking to any other race, that's okay. It's like people be apologizing and they'll say like somebody got mad because they said that. No, 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 no. As a Black woman, our culture is different. How we are raised at times, it differs from other races. We can't make apologies about where we came from. So you get someone who you feel comfortable with, point blank, period. And if that doesn't matter, it don't matter. I've had counselors of different races. I'm not going to sit and say all races, but they both help me. But mostly I stick right now. Mine is African American, and mostly I stick with African American women, and it works for me. But all of them haven't worked for me. So you feel me? Don't make apologies about what you need, but look for that. If you want to deal with trauma, look for somebody that's experienced with trauma. If you have depression, anxiety, look for that in the bio. If you want like yoga background and all the other stuff, look for it. They are out there. You have music therapy, art therapy. I had an art therapist before. She was so sweet. She was amazing. That was when I was getting through breast cancer. So yeah, do your due diligence and take care of yourself. Be patient. I can date. I can start like now and go on a couple of dates and then maybe continuing next year. And I'm okay with that because I'd rather take my time and meet a good connection for me than to rush and it's a bunch of red flags. And now, got to keep starting over. And this could happen. You might have to date 3 or 4 or 5 people before you get to a good match. It happens. Trust and believe. Be open. Something I need to work on, right? Be open. You never know who it might be. And most importantly, be honest. Be honest. Don't tell too much too soon. Don't go on no date. And the first date, yeah, my ex-husband was abusive and I broke up with this guy. And, I've been trying to reach out to him, but he kind of not responding. And then one time when I was 16, they're going to be like, and I notice people do that. They go on that one date and they just tell their whole life story. That's too much too soon. And be a little bit private when you first meet somebody. Be a lot of bit private. I wouldn't tell all my stuff up front because you don't know that man. That man don't know you. Men, don't be telling these ladies all your business. And if I were you personally, I wouldn't be bringing people to my house. That's a rule that I subscribe by since 1999. It's kept me safe thus far. Be careful out here. It's not even 1999. It's 2024, and there's some very strange stuff going on. And you can be younger than me and be flippant if you want to. It's okay. She old fashioned. No, 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 no. It's about safety first. We're not trying to get hurt out here. So use your better judgment with all this stuff. So I think that's all I got right now for dating. I know it can be difficult for some and it could take a while for some. And some people are more blessed. They get on those dating apps, they meet that connection, they're engaged and married. And that's their story. That part is okay. I'm happy for them. But then you have some, it take a little longer. I really wish it was still a little bit more old schoolish where people would be like, hey Tammy, I got somebody really nice for you. But even with that, like my sister, she tried to introduce like a relative to somebody. They went on a date, he wasn't interested. I've tried to introduce people, they're not interested. You can't get mad. Had a bizarre thing happen. A family friend tried to introduce me to her cousin. This was like years ago, right after my breakup. And this guy played me so difficult. She could email me. Okay, I emailed him. I was like, this is weird. But I went on and did it because, I'm going to get accused of not being open. Then we never talked on the phone. Then I ended up seeing him at a funeral. I sat behind him. He never seen me. And I was like, that wasn't my type anyway because he showed me a picture from like 10 years prior. And I'm like, see, dating. That's what I'm saying. It could take a while for some because they be on some, you know what. And so my sister ends up telling me he wasn't available anyway. And I'm like, well, why are you even talking? Why are you even trying to introduce me to him? So I kind of was like, it wasn't like not a dig to me. It was more a dig on her. Like, don't introduce me to people that's not available. Like, what's going on? See what I'm saying? You all see? Games are being played. Anyway, signing off. Let me know what you all think about this video. Thank you all for always watching. Everything's working out for my highest good. Everything's working out for your highest good too. And that's with dating. I wish you all could really see my shirt. It says let it be. Can you all see that? Probably not. But yeah, look how I'm just pumping myself up. Yeah, it says let it be. And that's what we gonna do. We gonna let this thing be. We gonna rock it out. Everything gonna be all right in the end. Tammi C Walker signing off. Bye.